everybody, welcome back to California Chris. Today we're going to have a look at the beds, the lower bed and the upper bed on the California ocean and coast. They're actually the same on both models. There is some slight differences to the canvas, and we'll talk you through those in the upper bed as we get to it, but we're going to start with the lower bed downstairs. If you've seen the videos before, you'll know that how these work. It hasn't changed between the 6 and the 6.1. So essentially we move the bed out to here, we put the headrest down, and then we pull the cable in between there, give it a pull, pop the bed down so it's into this position on here, and then obviously we can move the seat belts out of the way on here. If you lift this part of the mattress up, we'll then get rid of your seat belts that's there. So if you've not got a comfort mattress, now obviously you'll be sleeping straight on here. This particular version we've got here has got the comfort mattress as an extra. So with that, you then just give that a pull. If you haven't got the comfort mattress that's with the bed, you might have bought a mattress topper or something like that instead for it, or you just straight onto the sides from on here. Just going to rewind very quickly and just show you a few tips for doing that. Now I showed you a moment ago how to put the bed up to make it easier for you to see, but in reality this is how I would do it if I was actually camping or I was using the vehicle for the first time. I do this every day of the week, moving this bed around, but it's a lot easier if you do it when you're actually sitting in it. So for me, I'd sit myself down in the middle of the bed here, pull the catch from here, and I'd walk it along and bring it forward, put your headrest down, pull the catch, and then obviously you've got your space in here. And at the same time then, if you want the comfort mattress, you've got it, give it a pull, bring it up, and you're back down again. So what is new for the 6.1 is your ability to raise the back section of the bed here, and for that you just pull this catch and then pull up, and it locks it back into position. Then pull it again, lock again and again, and it's basically on a ratchet system that's on here. So you can see from on here there's a ratchet system, and it locks in different places all the way along, and that's obviously you can get whichever particular angle that you want that's on there. So at night time, for example, you can have a bit of an angle on there while you're sitting up if you're watching TV. If you've got the ocean model, you've got the big opening in the front if you're stargazing in the summer or something like that, and it's just very easy to use from on there. Also as well, which is really handy, is if you've got a lot of storage that you want to put in the vehicle, so you've got something high that's up here, obviously you can have it on its highest setting, which is up there, and then that's locked in position so it's not going to fall down, and you've got all this space then and the height to store anything else you would need. Somebody asked me a couple of weeks ago whether you can actually remove the back of the bed section here. Now on the California 6 model, you could do that, but obviously it was the grate that you had, you could pull that out quite easily. This can be removed again. On both sides in here you've got a quick release, so one on that side there and one on this side here. You've moved those on here and here, and if you can see that there, where there's a bolt there, that's what it locks into. So that's it locked, pull the catch, that now is unlocked, and on that basis then it will actually completely come out. So if I show you that from the top with this bed actually down, we just move the mattress out of the way, put that into the actual vehicle itself, you will see that you can now see these catches above here. So you can pull that one out on that side and this one on this side, hand in the middle, and out it comes. This is quite heavy, so my advice would be, if you are going to take it out, probably best to do two people to do it. Maybe one get one side, one get the other, and that's obviously the main reason for that is it's just to obviously protect your cabinets and protect your side while you're moving it. I don't envisage people are going to be taking this in and out a lot, but as you can see now with it out, obviously if we move the seat back, which I'll do in a second, and we'll show you what your maximum space is in the rear. So I've moved the seat all the way forward now, and the mattresses are now on the other side of it, but as you can see now you've got your maximum space in the rear of the vehicle. Right, so to put the back board back in again, basically the reverse of what we did in the first time, but just a couple of things so you know what you're actually looking for. So there's three of these on this side, so 1, 2 and 3 that are located on, and there's 2 on the other side, and those are what are going to locate in here. So on, for example, the far side, as I said, it's got 2, so you need to get the back ones in first, which is what you're aiming for, and then the front one locks into position. And if you can see down the bottom there, if I just turn this around so you can see, so we can see on here we've got the one at the front here, one there and one there, which is the 3 that actually locate into the back. So if I try and put this in now and show you how it's done, so your hand in there holding it from on here, I would suggest that you go into the vehicle sideways on. Yeah. Locate it in position there, and then just push it, and you've probably heard that big long click, is pushed into the side. So what you're aiming to do is to get the back ends in first and in position, drop the middle section in, and then the whole thing pushes forward, and you know it's in place by giving it a bit of a wiggle. So I'm just going to take you through putting the seat back up again. We've done videos on this before, but I think it's just worth just going back over it again. So obviously things like your seat belts, if you've moved those, remember to move those off to one side. Your seat belts, the actual buckles themselves, are down here. So if you lift this back up again, if you put your hands down into the gap, find them, put them in the gap, and then put it back down so it looks like that. So you're back in there. And then obviously then you can just pull the catch up, bring the seat back forward, put your headrests up, and pull the catch back to wherever you want it to be, and just make sure it's locked in position, and then we're back to where we were. Okay, so that's the downstairs bed we've looked at. So to use the bed upstairs, we need to pull this down first. So we just pull that into here, then through here. And obviously to get up on here then you can just stand on the seats and go up. We've done videos on the bed upstairs before, but obviously I want to show the differences now between the 6 and the 6.1. Okay, so we're upstairs now in the bedroom in the California. So as you can see from on here, we've got a mattress down that's here, which you can put a topper on or anything like that you might want to. Previously on the 6 model we had a lattice framework that went across, where now we've got these individual springs. Now these are the same springs which is available on the Grand California, on the bed section on the back that's on there. I'm being told it's really very comfortable. I've not had a chance to sleep in one as yet. That's going to be coming up hopefully in the next 4 weeks. And at that point then we can have a look. But as I said, this is the new section that's underneath here. A few other things to point out as well while we're up here. Obviously you've got the lighting system that's here, which allows you to have the lights which is here. There's a light here and a light that's on here as well, which are controlled via the switches on the front. And by pressing and holding the switch makes it brighter or darker. There's also a light right down the bottom as well. Now if you had the Coast model, this lighting system is actually an option on the Coast, so and we'll go and have a quick look at the Coast in a moment to show you what's standard and what you can get in there. Lengthwise for the bed up here, I've said this before, I'm 6 foot myself in length, and you can see there's plenty of space for me here. If I'm lying down, do the lie down test, my feet aren't even touching the bottom and my head's up there. I'm sure you're probably aware, obviously you sleep generally with your head up at this side here. I'll let you into a little secret. The first time I went away in California, I was actually away on my own, and I was sleeping, and I set everything up first time away as I was learning, and actually got up in the bunk bed, and I'd actually put the vans on a slight incline, and I had my head down this end, and after about a minute of being there I realised this is not how you do it. So that was my very first experience with the California. That was many years ago now. So as I said, heads up at this end that's here on the vehicle, and obviously you've got a levelling function which we'll be taking you through on the new version on here, but generally as long as it's roughly level, the vehicle, you'll have no problems. So also up here as well as we have this, I'll pull this out. This is what we use. This is the screen for closing everything off when the roof is down. Some people have asked me in the past, do you put this up to keep it separate that's in here from down below? I suppose the answer to that is yes, you could if you wanted to, but obviously it will not take any weight whatsoever. So for example, if you've got children who are sleeping upstairs that are here and you're downstairs in your cabin, you might for example want to move it slightly just so there's less noise coming from the cabin up into the top bunk that's here. But other than that, that's the only time I personally would think about using this, because the last thing you'd want is somebody up here closing this down, putting their hand on it, and you literally will go straight through the hole on that basis then. Then when you finish with the bed upstairs and you're still camping, obviously this you can just give a push and then you're back into your standing up. A couple of things to point out, we are in the Ocean model here now, so obviously there are some difference between this and the Coast. As far as the beds are concerned, the operation of the beds, they are no different at all, they're exactly the same. We mentioned obviously the lighting within this vehicle, and we're going to go and have a look in the Coast now, which is slightly different from the standard one. Your two windows here at the side, or your air vents, however you want to call them, your mesh ones. I call them air vents because that's generally what we're using for. Those are standard on the Coast as well, they're no different. But the front of the vehicle is where you see the big differences. So the Coast doesn't have any of this that's on the Coast. So you've just got one complete panel that goes all the way across, it's on there. I do get asked, you can replace this canvas, you can replace it for one with an opening that's on there. It is only something that can be done aftermarket, it's not something Volkswagen offer from the factory, so you can't upgrade currently to the Coast to have this front vent that's on there, but there is quite a significant cost to it. I know some people with T5s and some people with T6s have actually upgraded the roofs to the new version, or if they've had problems with the old roof, for example, you know, they've cut the canvas or it's been damaged in wind or in storms and things like that, they've replaced it for the new model as well that's there. Anyway, so we're going to have a quick look at the Coast and we'll show the differences in there. Okay, so we're now in the Coast model, and as you can see from the side of it here, from the main window at the front now, so there's no window at all in the front of the Coast model, and then we do have, as I said, we've got the window on either side on here, but there is a few little differences. So this section here is actually designed to fold the canvas in, and there is the same is on the other model as well, on the Ocean model, but on the Ocean this is actually up here. So it's slightly different because this is the manual folding roof compared to the electric folding roof that's there. So normally this would be up here. So what you tend to find with this, for example, is obviously I just fold it up and roll it into this section here. With the other one, obviously it goes all the way down and just open up ever so slightly more. It's a bit of a technicality, it's not really much difference, but you know, that's the difference between those two. So I mentioned as standard there is no lights in the in this top section here, in the bed section on the Coast. You can upgrade and have the lighting system similar to what's in the same as what's in the Ocean model, and even the cutouts for the buttons etc are actually already in the vehicles as well that's here. So essentially you can have the same as one that if you pay to have that as an upgrade. What you do get with the Coast model as standard, which I'll show you now, is a little portable light that looks like this, which basically is plugs into the cigarette light socket. So there is one up here in the bed section, so that clips into there, and then obviously it's on a bit of a windy cord, so that will go into the 12 volt supply, and then obviously you can move that around. Then you turn it on and off by tapping the back. There's a little button on the back of it that's on there as well. For people who've had the T5 model that's there, you remember there used to be a similar thing which used to come out from the side here that had a light on it which moved around. So this has just been moved on from there and this plugs straight into it. So this is what you get as standard with the vehicle. I hope you enjoyed today's video. We're looking at the bed sections on the lower bed and the upper bed on both the California models. If you had, as usual, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. If you don't already subscribe, please subscribe, because that really does help us out here with the channel. And we'll see you again soon.